Okay, come on. All right. Jesus fucking Christ. I, okay, that's done. Guten Tag. Scrappy, hello. You're welcome, Scrappy. Julie, hello. Bud, evening. Hello from Chicagoland. I need to find it. I still got a little bit on that one. Let's just finish that one off. Sherry, good evening. Good evening. Good evening. I can't tell if that's my son in the kitchen or my wife. Chris, hello. Calgary, Indiana, aloha. Yes, Renee is home. She is back from her weekend in Las Vegas, and this weekend we go to Southern Indiana. I was just getting ready to read a message and it got retracted. I don't know if I've heard Sublime's cover of Begonias. Good evening from Michigan. Hello. Let's go Toronto Blue Jays, says Travis. Welcome back, Renee, says Jim. I'm good. Hope you're well, says Sherry. Hey, Zaddy. I don't know what a Zaddy is. Am I just out of the loop? Guys, if you could just tap the screen, blow the likes up, it'll help push the live into more and more phones. 80s in San Diego. It is definitely not the 80s here. Big fan of your work. Thank you, Todd. She did have a good trip to Vegas. Thank you. Love your background. Thank you. St. Paul, hello. St. Paul actually says, "What's up?" My blood pressure. Have you played Gorilla Song? Huh? Your Colts look good. Yeah, so far. We'll see if they sustain it. I mean, they're 7-1. We're eight games in, and they're 7-1. They're even if they fall apart in the second half, they've really helped themselves out by having this first half. So, no, I can't say that. Did anyone hear the speech Trump made in Japan today in front of the military? Oh yeah, it was fucking insane. Insane. You're a hell of a lot easier to understand than any news outlet out there. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. How much money have you saved up streaming, if you don't mind me asking? Wait, I don't mean, what do you mean, how much have I saved up streaming? Uh, it is embarrassing. Deep dish or Chicago style hot dogs. Well, those are two completely different foods. Can you say my collar's blue, but my neck is red? Unk trying to find his e-kitten? What the fuck does that mean? And he was completely lost while walking. Yes, I saw that footage, right? They had to guide him around the room like he had no fucking clue what he was doing. Evening back at you, Ricardo. My grandfather may be entering hospice in the next couple of months. Any advice? I know your father was in hospice. I don't know what I could possibly give you that would be advice other than, I'm sorry to hear that. That's not advice. That's just me telling you that. I'm sorry to hear that. I know a guy in college who smoked Virginia Slims. Okay. What do memberships get? Nothing. Nothing. When I started my YouTube channel, people asked me if I was going to do memberships, and I said no because I don't want to do specific content for members. I want all of my content to be free for everybody. And people said, no, we want you to do a membership so that we can financially support your page. We're willing to pitch in $5 a month if it helps support your page and keeps the content going. I said, okay, so I started the membership, and I said, but understand, I'm not going to give you anything just for you. And they're like, yeah, no, this is what we want. We want to be able to support. And so I don't know, a handful of people do it every month. I like to watch your channel. It's a privilege to listen. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Mooj. My tummy hurts, says Bowl of Seeds. Okay. Special report. The Trump family raked in more than $800 million from sales of their cryptocurrency. Jesus fucking Christ. This fucking family is a goddamn cancer on humanity. Nice guitar. What kind is it? Is it D'Angelico? Any thoughts on Graham Plattner running here in Maine? I have loved everything I've seen out of Graham Plattner so far. And then they showed that tattoo. And that's got me, it hit me in the icky bads. You're stoned? Allow me to catch up. So, I don't know what I think about him now. Thank you very much for the pumpkin. Yes, people can change. That is true. I just want to know if he has. You know what I mean? It's just saying. Is my wife single? I want you to think about the words in that question and ask yourself if it makes any sense. I literally are the definition of a what? What is that? A statue? Yeah, it's an Ellis Island statue, or not an Ellis Island, an Easter Island statue. Do you like men? No. Cheers, amigo. Puff in solidarity. Right on. You got one more jar of bud and then you're out. The first tip of the night is coming at $10. Thank you very much, Brian Davidson, for the first donation / tip of the evening. I truly do appreciate it. You just listened to Scarlet Begonias. Allow me to do a bong rip, this person says. Did Renee win big in Vegas? No, I don't believe so. But she also didn't lose, if that makes sense. Oh, the people in Jamaica are. I can't possibly imagine what they're going through right now. That island is getting shit hammered right now, and it is going to take collectively a prolonged period of time to clean that place up. It's going to be bad for a minute. I don't know all the full list of the states that are suing him. I know that there are a shit ton of states suing them. You want that guitar, bro? You can buy one. Just Google it. Google D'Angelico semi hollow body Grateful red, white, and blue Grateful Dead guitar. There are still some available. They don't make them anymore, but there are still some available to buy. You're on average, they're going to run about $1,500 to $2,500. First time here. Love your informative shorts. What's the topic? There is no topic when I go live. It's just whatever the fuck goes on in the chat room here. Cheers from the UK. Right on. Jealous of your Grateful Dead guitar. Thank you very much. Their infrastructure probably cannot withstand this. Ledger, thank you very much for becoming a support level member. I appreciate that. Greetings and salutations to you too, 3T. Just bought your first book. Arrived on Friday. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. How's bowling been? Solid. The topic is Tom smokes multiple times during these lives. Yes, I do. If that's something that you don't like, you don't have to be here. I don't do edibles; they don't touch me, and I only do vapes if I'm on vacation and I'm traveling with something. Your book, Dearest Renee, is amazing. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Love Tommy's costume. Thank you very much. Didn't know you had a book. I don't have a book. I have 2 books. I have written 2 books available in paperback and ebook formats at my website, which is in the description of any one of my videos. 2 books. If you buy my book and send it to me with prepaid postage back to you, I will sign it and send it back to you. Absolutely. Play a song for us. I don't know how. I never learned how to play. How are my cats doing? They're fine. What am I doing tomorrow? Making content. What are the books about? My first book is the memoir of the first 45 years of my life, the story of the first 45 years of my life. And the second book is a collection of letters, quote unquote, that I wrote to my wife in the form of Facebook posts in letter format each day of the quarantine when she was out working as an essential worker and I was retired at home with the kids. What's your favorite kind of taco? My wife's. Gavin Newsom is making a presidential run. Thoughts? I think that's expected. You know, you want a tree service in Twin Cities? Loved what I said about tree service. Yep, absolutely. If there's one ginormous fucking piece of advice I could give to any ground level landscaper, lawn maintenance, bush trimming, landscape construction, retaining walls, patios, sod, whatever. If you get asked to do tree work by one of your customers, you get a tree guy or you tell them to get a tree guy. Don't go get a fucking chainsaw and a rope like so many of us have done and go, yeah, we got this. Yeah, just fucking call a fucking tree guy. Into the Wild is not my favorite movie. It is one of my favorite movies. My favorite movie is The Godfather. I love Into the Wild though. It's in the Mount Rushmore of great movies, or the team picture of great movies. Is dog shit land, aka Ohio, as bad as Texas? Um, in what manner? What is the worst accident you've witnessed or experienced? I don't know. I've seen some odd accidents, I guess. I don't know, Napoleon Dynamite. I've never seen Napoleon Dynamite. Um, hey, from Australia, just started seeing you. My algorithm, love your commentary. I love Chicagoans. I also follow another guy, Crime Plays Binary from Chicago. Right on. Well, you'll have to visit Chicago at some point in time. Come have an Italian beef sandwich, fucking hot dog or something like that. Yeah, I fucking hate Ohio. Ohio is rancid. It's a festering bucket of liquefied rhinoceros shit roasting on the side of a fucking summer sunny fucking road in the middle of fucking July in the deep south. Uh, who punched you this time, loser? What the fuck does that even mean? Why do you think Donald Trump hates America so much? It's not that he hates America, it's that he only loves himself. And America gets in the way of him doing and being what he wants to do and be. He wants to cheat everything, everywhere, every day, all the time. He wants to cheat people and institutions and business partners. And there are laws. And America gets in the way of Donald Trump being Donald Trump. Do I have advice for young people trying to get through life? Uh, no, I have no idea what you guys are going through. I can't imagine what you guys are going through. Your entire life is online. Everything is 9,000 times more expensive. And the cost of the wages haven't kept up with the cost of living for like 30 fucking years. I have no idea what you guys are going through. We had affordable houses and affordable rent. There was a period of time where, you could get a week's worth of groceries for 75 bucks. It had to stretch a little bit, but you could do it. I don't know the world you guys are living in. So therefore I can't render any advice on how to survive a world I am unfamiliar with. Orange Crush. No, this is not a sponsored live. I'm mutuals with Gunny. I've never seen a game at Soldier Field. Um, I did see a game at Comiskey Park when I was much, much younger. And the Chicago Stadium, yes, I have seen a game at the Chicago Stadium before. It got torn down, but it was a Blackhawks game, not a Bulls game. I only ever saw the Bulls in their dynasty era, playing obviously in the United Center. Rarely, but I always enjoyed going to a Bulls game. It's very entertaining. Thoughts on the Bears moving to Arlington? It's going to destroy the whole feel, vibe, mystique of the Bears. In your opinion, is the worst social media app for young people to use? Snapchat. How is Chicago? Is the ICE agents there? Well, I'm not. I'm way out in the Chicago suburbs, so I don't have to deal with the ICE agents where I'm at. what I've seen from what's going on in the city and near the city, it's not good. Mule break over, gotta go. Have a nice chat. Take it easy, brother. Is it cold where you live? It's currently, we have daytime highs in the 60s, overnight lows in the 40s currently, but we're slipping colder and colder and colder as the days go on because, yeah, we're steamrolling towards winter, and winter in Chicago is not typically, it's not toasty. I've never had Snapchat. The reason why kids like Snapchat so much is whatever it is that you send on Snapchat, it goes away in a period of time. It disappears after a certain allotment of time. And if anybody screen grabs it, it notifies you that they screen grab. So the shit that you do, it gets erased. It goes away. Do I like navy bean soup? I would rather have a living snake shoved up my urethra than have a bowl of navy bean soup. Just saying. Good evening, y'all. Hope everyone's doing good. Thank you. Appreciate that. That's invasive. Yeah, I would imagine that. I would imagine. Love your videos. Thank you, Eddie. I appreciate that. Thoughts on Trump's low IQ? Uh, yeah, Trump's an absolute fucking idiot. And the fact that he gets other people to vote for him, he's an idiot that convinces people to vote for them. So what does it say about their low IQ? Some kid in my freshman year created a fake Snapchat account of me after I stopped being friends with him. Still hate him 2 years later. Fair enough. Justin, thank you very much for the $10 donation. Beer fund donation. Oh, Justin, we don't drink beer around here. But I'll tell you what I will do. I will put it towards my next joint. Let's see what we got here. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. We're going to go ahead and try this one. You've never had a TikTok, huh? It's becoming more and more unpopular at the moment, unfortunately. And I love TikTok. I hate to see it happen. Um, you always hear people that are going to leave TikTok. That's, they're always going to go, I'm never going to make another TikTok. I'm done with the place, yada yada yada. But they always come back. It's very addicting, that app. The way the algorithm is set up and the way the For You page is set up and the way that you can just scroll from one video to another to another to another to another. It's a very addicting platform, but they fucked it up. And they're continuing to fuck it up. And as a result of it, they're killing what has been the most popular platform out there. Thank you very much for the $20 donation. Weed donation. Token Enjoy, says Mesa. Mesa, consider it done, my friend. Anyway, so yeah, they're fucking that up. They're fucking that up. Hang on a second here. Give me a minute. Now, a couple of content creators recently said they're not going to make any more content, and they haven't for about a week. So let's see here. Sorry. My apologies. Give me a moment here. Come on. Get off the damn screen. Okay. Eddie Hoodles. What up, playa? Nothing. Sativa, indica, or hybrid? Sativa. What do you think about Graham Plattner and the controversy around him? It doesn't look good. My kid is 7, and I don't know whether I should have let her have any social media. Not at, well, I mean, you do yourself, but not at 7. Do I think Chris Hansen is mega or mega? I guess I never really thought about it. Why? Did he do something? Say something? I haven't really heard anything that has been controversial surrounding him. Yes, Beth, I did. Yeah, yes, I did. When I sit down to do content tomorrow, I'll be doing a video about it. Oh, whether or not you should ever let your child have social media? I mean, I don't think you can cut your child off from the world that they live in. I remind you of who? Matt Dillahunty? Do you think there is a chance people could force Trump to quit? Possibly. Possibly. If the Republicans ever got serious about, if the Republicans ever did to Donald Trump what they did to Richard Nixon, which was see insurmountable evidence to impeach and remove him from office. So Nixon was a Republican. The Republicans in Congress had this evidence that was indisputed. They went to Richard Nixon and said, "Listen, we have no choice. We have to vote to impeach you. You will become the first president in American history to not only be impeached but removed from office unless you resign." And that's what got Richard Nixon to resign. If the Republicans were ever serious about that and they collectively went to him and said, "Dude, we're going to have no choice," like if the Epstein shit got out there and it was irrefutable that he was involved in that shit, maybe they could get him to quit. Maybe. But there's a part of me that thinks that he would never do that, even if they had him dead to rights. Okay, don't give me the neither side shit when it comes to the Epstein files, because of the 33,000 documents that have been released so far, over 99% of them came under the Biden administration, and they couldn't release the rest of them because the rest of them were under a judge ordered court seal. They are no longer under that. They could be released today. Do I think Nixon would have been sent to jail? I think Nixon would have been the first president to ever be indicted post presidency and face the possibility of jail, which is ultimately what ended up happening to Donald Trump in between his 2 terms. So, yeah, without the resignation and the blanket pardon, yeah, I think he probably could have faced that. If the files are released, maybe then Trump could be impeached. Maybe then people in his party can say, "Hey, we need to remove him. We can't have him as our standard bearer." Maybe. Do you think we are going to go to war with Venezuela? There's a lot of military assets in Puerto Rico, more than I've ever seen. I'm convinced we're going to go to war with Venezuela. I'm convinced we are. And not because Congress declared war, because Trump wants to go into Venezuela. That's what he's going to, he's just going to do it. Good day, Tom and all. 10:30 a.m. Wednesday in my part of Australia. Well, good morning. Yes, he wants the oil, and he wants to say he took out this dictator. For God fucking sake, can we end the 6-7 bullshit? It is dumb as shit, man. It is just so fucking stupid. All the same. What? 21 Supremacy. No Shawshank Redemption? Question mark. No, I have never seen the movie Shawshank Redemption. You would actually be probably surprised by the number of movies that I have not seen that you would think that I have seen. But there are a lot of movies that I've never seen, and yes, Shawshank Redemption is one of them. Does the ballroom survive after Trump? Yeah, probably. Yes, I've seen The Green Mile. Yeah, okay. We have a I don't know what it's called, if it's a battle group or a tactical group of U.S. ships in the South Caribbean, so that we can potentially start attacking Venezuela. We need to divert that fleet from the South Caribbean and get them up to Jamaica. We need to come in on the back end of this fucking storm and use those assets to help the people in Jamaica, not blow up people in Venezuela. Have you seen Chain Reaction? I have not. Oh my God, we've got some conspiracies going on. Some conspiracy. Thoughts on Trump? He's 350 pounds of liquefied dog shit poured into a cheaply made Chinese suit. Chain Reaction takes place in Chicago. Right on. I have not watched the show The Bear. I know that that is also filmed in Chicago. I've I've known Trump, since the '80s, right? He was constantly making TV show appearances and putting himself in front of a camera his entire fucking life. I mean, yeah, boxing matches and wherever there were cameras, Donald Trump was finally catching alive. Well, welcome in. Welcome in. True Lies. I have never watched the movie True Lies. No. His TV persona is the only real reason he even got elected. Even that, it's bizarre to me, because I guarantee you this: if you were given a time machine and you had the ability to go back before Trump got into the birtherism shit with Obama, right? If you could go back to before that, I know that people have asked Trump prior to that if he would ever consider running for president. But if you went to, before he became the biggest racist piece of shit in the world of right wing politics, and you had a chance to ask each and every person that ultimately ended up voting for Donald Trump in 2016, a few years down the road, if they would ever vote for Donald Trump, I guarantee you 99% of them would say, "You mean that elitist New York billionaire who shits on a gold toilet, fucks over the working class? Hell no." It just goes to show you how big of a fucking cult it is. None of those people would have voted for Donald Trump before he got into politics. None of them. But he puts an R next to his name. He hates the same people that they hate, and they can't wait to vote for him. Why? Because it's the simple-minded leading the simple-minded. Listen, we're all dying. I don't know that Trump is going to go anywhere in the next 6 months. But yeah, he does. He's clearly suffering from something on some level. You live with Trump supporters? That is unfortunate. Assholes always seem to live long. God, I hope so. That means I may be able to squeeze a few more years out of this. I figure I'm right around the corner from the "get off my lawn" stage of my life. True, true. What happens to Vance after Trump? I don't know. What does Trump do before he leaves? Right? I mean, Mike Pence set himself up to be the heir apparent, and then they sent a mob to go kill him. Do you consider yourself a centrist? No, I consider myself a liberal. What? If the files prove he abused girls? If the files prove he abused girls, what? There's going to be a segment of the fucking population that's going to defend him no matter what. I would dare say he could probably get some more support that he didn't have before if it proved that he did that. These fucking people. You do know we're going to have to drag his ass out of the White House, right? Question mark, somebody asks. Oh, so be it. So I hope the cameras are rolling. You know what I mean? I've heard that a million times that Shawshank Redemption is the best prison movie. Once again, I've never watched it. You seem tired this evening. Is Renee home yet? Renee is home. Uh, Dragging a little ass today, but not much. I mean, just getting older. You know what I mean? Yeah, I heard Kamala was thinking about running again. She had mentioned that she's considering it. Yeah, I don't know if that's a good idea. It's almost 2 a.m. by you. Might be time to get some sleep. You know what I mean? Tuck it away. You must not be a movie person. What? Because I didn't watch Shawshank Redemption? I'm probably not as much of a buff as some people are, but I mean, I think I've watched a pretty good amount of movies. I've also not watched a ton of movies that um, people say are automatics, like Shawshank Redemption. Little Nicky, never saw it. Good evening, Mr. Powell. Thank you very much. Good evening to you too, Jesse. Jean-Claude Van Damme, it's best. It's based on true story. Who's going to win the New York mayoral race? It looks like Mamdani is going to win. I need to see Little Nicky. Yeah, I don't know. Top 5 favorite movies: The Godfather, The Ten Commandments, Dances with Wolves. Maybe Into the Wild. I don't know. I have never seen a single episode of Breaking Bad. Godfather is the greatest movie ever made. A Time to Kill is a very good movie. Somebody came up with Jaws: The Revenge, which in the realm of the Jaws world is the cousin Eddie of the Jaws movies. Better Call Saul, never saw a movie of it. Never saw an episode of it, my bad. I did not see Big Stan. No, I've definitely not seen Sharknado. Bambi the Reckoning. Bambi the Reckoning. The Walking Dead, I've seen a majority of it, and then I just fucking gave up on it. Pulp Fiction, love it. The Sting, yes. Blues Brothers, yes. Have you seen Dexter? No. Goodfellas, yes. Toxic Avenger, of course. Popeye the Slayer Man? No, but I did watch Popeye. I like that. Superbad was good. Blazing Saddles, yes. Ghostbuster, yes. Casino, yes. Okay. One of, in my opinion, the more underrated cheesy comedies of its time was DC Cab. DC Cab with that cast and that stupid ass story was fantastic. Love DC Cab. Never saw The Big Lebowski. Never saw an episode of Breaking Bad. Uncle Buck is phenomenal. Never saw Napoleon Dynamite. Yes, loved Back to the Future. Spaceballs, yes, loved it. No, I'm not going to see Rush. Did just score tickets to Bon Jovi in Madison Square Garden next July, though. Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer was actually way better than I thought it was going to be. Slapshot is an all-time classic. Never saw Almost Famous. I never saw The Martian. That one I missed out on. I gotta maybe go back and catch up on that. Am I interested in Spaceballs too? No. Yes, used to watch Hogan's Heroes. Of course, I've watched Convoy. Of course. Nice to see you live every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central Time. History of the World Part 1. One of the biggest travesties in the history of cinema is that we never got a History of the World Part 2 right after that first movie. Spinal Tap, yes. Blazing Saddles, yes. Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. Smokey and the Bandit is just, a good cheesy movie of its time. Never saw Robin Hood Men in Tights. Never saw The Room. Monty Python, of course, yes. Never saw Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. The Great Outdoors is a classic. Yes, love the Beverly Hills Cop franchise. I've not seen Step Brothers. Love Beetlejuice. Never saw Interstellar. I made it about 10 minutes into Showgirls and was like, this is dumb as fuck. Of course I watched Gremlins. Of course. Christmas Vacation, yes. Duel, no. Red Green Show, no. 12 Angry Men, no. Trailer Park Boys, no. Captain Ron, no. Am I a sci-fi fan? Ish. Blair Witch was one of the dumbest movies. But it was just stupid. Okay, in the realm of like cult classics, two of them have just been mentioned here within moments of each other. Big Trouble in Little China and Raising Arizona. Both awesome cult classics. Marvel or DC, and who's your favorite? DC has better characters. Marvel makes better movies. Can I run for president? No. Have I seen Hoosiers? Have I seen who? Does Dolly Parton sleep on her back? Is a frog's ass watertight? Does a hobby horse have a wooden dick? Hoosiers is the greatest basketball movie of all time, and when you sit down and you put greatest basketball, greatest baseball, greatest of the various sports, basketball, it's Hoosiers. Period. End of story. Yes, I've seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Roger Rabbit. Yes, I've seen Major League. Excuse me, I'm going to see a toilet really quickly. For here? Did that get delivered? Okay, let me use this right quick. All right, yours. Do 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 ah. Mental's fresh and full of life. Nothing gets to you. Staying fresh, staying cool. With mental fresh and full of life. Sorry, it's been stuck in my head all fucking day. Never seen the Skull Collection? Yes, I've had a Skull Collection for quite some time. The Ninth Configuration, Stacy Keach, never saw it. The Natural, awesome. Field of Dreams, awesome. Lost in Translation, never saw it. Canadian Bacon, I did not see Canadian Bacon. No. Thoughts on cremation? You mean like if when people get cremated? Is that like I don't want to be cremated. I also think burials are a tremendous waste of money, but you got to do something. You know what I mean? Are you a real hippie? I'm hippie-ish, I guess you would say. Never saw Eraserhead. This Is Us is one of the best TV shows I've ever seen in my entire life. Viking burial. I mean, that seems like it would be costly too. An entire fucking ship. Or are you just talking about chucking me onto a slab, dousing me with some accelerant and lighting me up? Never saw an episode of The Sopranos. Love Monty Python. Nice Deadhead guitar. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Kit Kat or Reese's? Reese's. You're donating your body to the body farm in Tennessee. You know what I'd like to have happen to me? I know it's a little too fucking weird for people to quite comprehend just yet, but they put you in what's called a pod, and then they bury you, and a fucking tree grows out of you. That would be fucking cool. What's my opinion on artificial intelligence? This should probably stop all of it right now. But it's not going to happen. So I'm glad I was born in 1972. Because I won't be around to see what it does. Feed the tree. You want to be launched into space? Just fucking chucked out into the cold, dark beyond, huh? All right. Put it in the will. You just want to live in space? I think I'm good being on the ground. You know? What do I think of the Reagan years? Oh, it was the kickstart to the downfall of all of this. What is currently called AI is not real AI. Real AIs have a neural network. Programs are not that. Okay, I don't know much about AI to begin with, so. Tom smokes dope and likes the Grateful Dead. That's hippie enough. I'm on the board, I guess. You know what I mean? Evil Knievel. There was a unique character from my childhood, huh? Evil Knievel, born in Montana, daredevil, motorcycle rider. I remember his kid trying to make a go at it after the old man left us. Evil Knievel was it was weird. Like, it just got movie stars and athletes and politicians, and then this guy who fucking jumps over helicopters and buses and shit. Anchorman was funny as shit. Super Dave Osborne? Yeah, I love Super Dave Osborne. Is this an anti-Trump safe space? I mean, I'm an anti-Trump person. I'm not quite sure what a safe space is yet. Doug Henning, the magician. If I could go back in time and I could only see one artist live that I never got a chance to see, oh, I don't know. Who? Jimi Hendrix would be in that conversation. Stevie Ray Vaughan would be in that conversation. The original Beatles would be in that conversation. Um, I don't know who it would be, but I know that the Doors would be in that conversation. Uh, yeah. people are saying Janice, Elvis, Freddie. You mentioned how good Billy Gibbons is as a guitarist in a recent video. Rough Boy was a great example of his skill. I'll tell you what's a great example of Billy Gibbons' skill. You know you're fucking talented as a guitarist when you have Jimi Hendrix and I think it was Eric Clapton. Were those the two people that were having the conversation? Talking about the new kid on the block, Billy Gibbons, and this band from Texas, ZZ Top, and how Billy was going to put them all out of fucking business. Did somebody donate another 20? Oh, no, that's been here for. Oh, we have a new 20 here. Tokens from really good, whatever you could buy so I could smoke cheers. Well, thank you. Thank you again for the donation. Rocky Horror Picture Show, I think, is the all-time classic of classic cult films, Rocky Horror Picture Show. But if you're going to go see Rocky Horror Picture Show, you have to try and find a venue that's going to have the live version with the screen version. That's the way you got to do Rocky Horror Picture Show. It's an experience that just you can't get with just the regular watching the regular movie. Clockwork Orange was creepy as fuck. Bring toast and a squirt bottle when you go to Rocky Horror Picture Show where there's going to be a live performance. What you hear in the background is my wife wrestling 5 cats at dinner time. The Exorcist is creepy as fuck too. Yay, cat dinner. Yes. The cats are lining up for their evening meal. Does the weed affect the cats? Yeah, they tend to go away when I'm smoking. Favorite horror movie? Original Halloween. Who do you think is the worst rapper? No clue. The Omen was freaky as fuck, man. Oh, that little shit was fucking weird, man. Just still, like I'm 53 and it's still fucking weird. If I see like a little kid just kind of off in the distance, just standing there with no expression, staring, I'm like, fucking, you know what I mean? That's icky bad. We gotta leave the state. Tommy,
Yeah.
you gonna shower?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because when I'm done, I'm gonna shower. Signs, good movie, good movie. Eyes Wide Shut. No, I have not seen that. Do they join you with catnip? That we do have catnip, and we grow catnip in the garden. Yet, of course, they love their catnip. Yes, Evil Dead. Never saw Rosemary Baby. MC Hammer. Boy, if that wasn't somebody that kind of really, what am I looking for? Really kind of like oozed the time he was in, like really fit the time he was in. So he's really an embodiment of it. Thank you for the $4.20 donation, Kilo. Have you seen Weapons? I have not, but that was a phenomenal donation there of $4.20. I appreciate that. House of a Thousand Corpses. Love it. House of a Thousand Corpses and The Devil's Rejects are just really off the wall weird. Of course, Men in Black, the entire Men in Black franchise is great. Taxi driver, you talking to me? Of course. Huh? Please get more FDT merch in stock, keychains, magnets. Okay, that's not going to happen because we did all of that. At one point in time, I had buttons, magnets, coasters, Christmas ornaments, tote bags, throw pillows, hoodies, jogger pants, underwear, uh, obviously the t-shirts, long and short sleeve, the baseball t-shirt. We had so much shit, it just becomes a bogged down mess on the website. So we simplified it. We do t-shirts, we do hoodies, we do a few coffee mugs and a few bumper stickers, and that's about the end of it. I do like getting jiggy with it, somebody said. Tremors is kind of a fun movie. Never saw it. Halloween 3. Yeah, I've seen all of the Halloween movies, and some are obviously better than others. Full Moon Entertainment's Puppet Master. Stevie Ray Vaughan. Yes, I've got him on the wall in front of me. He is one of the acts on the second music wall. This is the first music wall, and then the second one in front of me is Dave Matthews, Stevie Nicks, Jimi Hendrix, Naked Ray Gun, Jerry Garcia, Run DMC, the Beastie Boys, the Blues Brothers, George Clinton, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Cheap Trick, Rush, Pink Floyd, Melissa Etheridge, and Iron Maiden. Uh, Thoughts on the upcoming Rush tour? I hope they kill it. I hope they crush it. I hope it's a phenomenal show. Never saw Hellraiser. I was always a big fan of Frankenberry and Booberry more than Count Chocula, but I never really dug on the chocolate cereals as a whole. None of them are good anymore. They've changed dramatically, and it's a damn shame because Booberry and Frankenberry were the shit back in the day. They were the shit. I just have Dave Matthews up here rocking an acoustic. It would be cool as fuck to see Rush. Loved Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Cinnamon Toast Crunch is phenomenal. Do you ship your merchandise to Australia? I think my merch does go to Australia. I don't handle my merch. I create my merch and I use what's called drop shipping. So in other words, there isn't a bunch of cases of T-shirts of mine laying around. For example, you order a T-shirt from my website. The company I work for, they make the shirt, ship it to you, and deposit my end of the funds into my bank, if that makes sense. That's how all of that merch works. And I believe it does go. I know it goes to Canada. I know it goes to UK, and I believe it goes to Australia. I don't have a favorite Grateful Dead song. You went to a Halloween party last Saturday. You won a prize with your concert right on. Is there anyone you still want to put on your wall? It's irrelevant. I'm out of space. Favorite live album. Okay, favorite live album. Well, and then we'll use this to kind of wrap this session up. Let's think of the best live albums. Iron Maiden live, AC/DC live, Peter Frampton Comes Alive, the entirety of the Woodstock concert. A number of Grateful Dead songs come to mind, or albums come to mind. Um, the one I listen to the most is probably AC/DC live. You love the guitar? Thank you very much. Do you give out candies for Halloween? We always have for years and years and years. The last couple of years, we've been going to a friend's house for Halloween. So the last couple of years, no. Pearl Jam Unplugged. Stevie Ray Vaughan live at the at Austin City Limits. Dave Matthews Band live at Austin City Limits. Thoughts on tribute bands? Who do you think is better writer, Stephen King or Tolkien? Stephen King. Do you ever listen to Tesla's 5-man acoustic? Yes, I have. A bunch of times. Signs, signs everywhere, signs. Blacking up the scenery, breaking my mind. Thoughts on stadium events? What do you mean by stadium events? Best version of the love song? Yeah, probably. Yeah, yeah. Did I keep any of my father's cars? No, no. The head shake speaks louder than the words regarding the tribute bands. Yes, it does, and I didn't mean to be a dick about that. I apologize. But guys, I gotta go get to bed. I gotta have a little sweet and get to bed. I have a day of making content ahead of me tomorrow, and then I think we're carving the pumpkins tomorrow. And then I got a day of making content ahead of me on Thursday. And then a half a day of content ahead of me, or about that, content ahead of me on Friday. And then we got Halloween. And then my wife and I are going to see family in Southern Indiana for a day. And then we're back here. And then we got a few weeks to rest before Thanksgiving and Black Friday and the fucking heart of all of it. Oh, your mother. See what we got here today. Let's see. What is this? Pineapple donut. Pineapple donut? Pineapple donut. Pineapple donut. I don't know. I'm going to try it. Picked up a few pre-rolls today, and it was a new place that I had not been to before. And apparently I signed up when I walked in and put my email into the kiosk. I signed up for their point system. So I got in addition to the pre-rolls I was buying, I got a penny pre-roll. They call it a free pre-roll, but it was a penny. And then they said, and you get 50% off of one item. And instead of taking 50% off of a pre-roll, I had her go get me a little bit of fucking bud, and I said, make that the 50% off. So, you know, now I'm gonna go smoke some. So, thanks for stopping by, guy. Hasta